I'm not hearing
Hello,
any audio.
hello, hello, and welcome back, maybe, to a little Lily Princess. It was spring when Sarah's school life began, but spring in London was nothing like any spring she had known before. The morning sun was not enough to lift the chill from the stony streets, and the mist off the river blended with the smoke of countless chimneys to form a thick yellow fog. In such weather, the gas lamps burned night and day, flickering like stars to guide the horse-drawn ships to their destinations. But the ship that had carried her across the ocean was now a thing of the past. Here, then, was Sarah's new home. It was a big, dull brick house, exactly like all the others in its row, except on the front door there shone a brass plate which was engraved with black letters. Miss Minchin's Select Seminary for Young Ladies. Girls, gather around if you please. Come, hurry up. We have a new pupil who'll be joining us starting today. Her name is Sarah Crewe, and she has only recently arrived in England, so you must all make her feel welcome. Uh,
Oh, you want me to voice the main character? Okay.
yes.
How do you do?
The room filled with a chorus of gently murmured greetings.
No, I
Sarah
won't.
Carew, for that was her name, looked out upon a garden of strangers. Every face was turned to her, polite and attentive and perfectly foreign. She felt more lost than she had ever been at sea. Sarah, dear, as you can see, we have pupils here of all levels, but these three are particularly near your age. This is Miss Lavinia Herbert, and Miss Ermengarde St. John, and Miss Jessie Abbott. We're very pleased to meet you.
I am very pleased to meet you as well. I have never known very many girls near my age, nor any other age.
Sarah's life before that point had been not isolated, but sheltered. Her mother had died when she was born, leaving Sarah to be raised by the young, handsome father who was the only relation she had ever known. Some fathers had little time for their children, but Sarah and her papa had always been quite close, reading books and playing games together every day. He treated her as a little confidant, sharing his thoughts with her as if she were his peer and not a very young girl, and listened solemnly to the advice she gave in return, though he didn't always follow it. Sarah had never felt lonely, but it must be said that she had very little experience in making new friends. Sarah's father, Captain Crewe, makes his home in India, and he is returning there as we speak. I shall expect you all to be very agreeable to her. Now, Sarah, take your seat. Your father has informed me how very much you enjoy your studies, and I expect you to be a credit to this establishment.
I'm not certain how to become a credit, but I do wish to learn.
This this statement was met with muffled giggles. Confused, Sarah looked back at Miss Minchin for guidance. Take your seat, I said.
But seat is mine.
Concerned that she would look disobedient if she hesitated further, she slid into the nearest empty place. No one objected, and she let out a sigh of relief. Nearby, two girls turned to whisper to each other. What a way of speaking! She's so old-fashioned. Hush! And her eyes are such a queer color. A funny-looking child, to be sure.
Well, you were definitely right about that word choice.
Well, she isn't as pretty as other pretty people are, but there is something about her. She makes you want to look at her again, to see what it is. And she has tremendously long eyelashes. Only you would notice such a thing. Girls, kindly pay attention to your lessons. Yes, Miss Minchin. Choose an activity for Sarah to perform each day. Every activity has three possible outcomes, which will change the icons you receive. At the end of the week, Sarah's icons will be collected and turned into resources. Icons are only converted at the end of the week. Until then, they can be changed or lost by other activities. Plan the order of your activities in order to get the best results for the week. Knowledge, artistry, patience, sympathy, grace, belief, and vigor.
A lot of options, huh? So there are 5 days and 6 options for each day. Ouch.
So, book was knowledge, paintbrush was artistry. I believe the angel was grace.
I mean,
Is
you
the
can probably
time
click on
patient?
icon help and then we can look at the guide again.
Book, paintbrush, clock, heart, angel, cross, run.
Oh, and we can keep it open so we don't need to...
Yeah. All of our stats are currently 1. So what do we want to try to focus on?
Is there... Okay, so book is guaranteed to be...
Book is
You get
guaranteed
at
to
least
give us
one book.
something.
So you either get 1 knowledge, 1 artistry, or 3 knowledge.
Yep.
Dance
Dancing
is...
could just double vigor.
Ugh.
So we
Okay.
would want it to be last, if at all. Play with toys could gain artistry equal to half artistry, but could also give 4 things. So I
So
could give 4, 3, or double vigor. 4 things, 1 thing, or gain equal to half of your artistry. Gain art equal to vigor, or grace equal to vigor, or gain vigor and patience.
okay.
Gain 3, gain 4, or gain 2. Which sounds good.
And Tea Party?
Gain 3, 3, or 2.
Okay. So book, diary, and Tea Party seem to be the most reliable ones to start
Yes.
with. So I would say let's probably put in book, Tea Party, diary. Now let's see. Do we want to for
And
Thursday and
guarantee
Friday?
vigor.
What is our best? Okay, so we are guaranteeing ourselves knowledge. What was the Tea Party is most Party is
Likely
most
to get
likely sympathy, but might get vigor and belief. Diary gets us
Probably belief. Either belief or patience.
okay. I feel like
I mean, we could double up on things, right? We could read
that's
more
true,
books.
but I feel like it might be good to. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's read another book, and let's do. What does Go for a Walk give us?
Equal to vigor, which we can't guarantee. Or
All right,
gives
well,
us
let's
vigor and patience.
toys. Play with
Play with
toys, I
toys?
believe.
On Friday and leave it as that.
Wait, does anything else we have give an option for getting artistry?
Read a book could give artistry. Tea Party can give artistry. Write a diary could give artistry.
Okay, so we have 4 chances to get artistry to make Play with Toys valuable.
Yes. If we get the last one.
If we get the last
get-
one, so. Okay, this seems good to me for the first one while we try to figure things out.
Now the schedule that you have set will be carried out. For each weekday, Sarah will point to the randomly chosen result, and those icons will appear on the right side of the screen. You do not have to press to advance between days. It will happen automatically. You can adjust the speed when biocards are converted at the end of the week. A result of double all knowledge will double your current icons, brought your long-term knowledge resources. Okay. Artistry, that's alright. Some vigor, that's okay. Sure. More artistry. 2, it rounds up. 3 knowledge, 5 artistry. 1 vigor and 2 belief. We don't have patience,
Okay.
sympathy, or grace so much yet, but...
My room. My 2 rooms, just for me.
Sarah was what was known as a parlor boarder, where other girls were quartered in standard issue single rooms. She had a large bedroom, uniquely decorated, and a separate sitting room with a comfortable sofa.
My papa has filled them with beautiful things. Books, velvet cushions, lace dresses, a porcelain tea set, hats with great feathers that bob on them, even a tiger rug to remind me of India. It looks like a room that would belong to the daughter of a Raja, an Indian princess. I only wish that this room also contained my papa. Perhaps it does. He gave me all of these things, and whenever I touch them, I can imagine that he is with me. And when I read his farewell letter, I can hear his voice. My dear little missus. I'll use this for the head dad's voice. So here you are, in the place you always knew you must go. But be of good cheer. Ho, ho, ho. You will not have to stay for a very long time. There will be lots of little girls, and you will play together, and I will send you plenty of books. You will grow so fast it will be scarcely a year before you are big enough and clever enough to come back and take care of Papa. I'm not in the least anxious about your education. You are always sitting with your little nose burrowing up into books, gobbling them up as if you were a little wolf instead of a little girl. I have instructed Miss Minchin to drag you away from your books, read too much, to make you go and ride your pony in the row or buy a new doll. You ought to play more with dolls. Oh, Papa, if I bought a new doll every day, I should have too many to be able to make friends with them all. I am happy as just Emily. Happy because I was with you when I met her.
Emily, of course, was the name of a doll, a very special doll that Sarah had discovered when her papa took her to visit the premier toy shops of London. She was a large doll, but not too large to carry about easily. She had naturally curling golden brown hair, which hung like a mantle about her, and her eyes were deep, clear, grey-blue, with soft, thick eyelashes, which were real eyelashes and not mere painted lines. At Sarah's insistence, she had been given a wardrobe every bit as grand as Sarah's own, with frocks and coats and nightgowns and beautiful lace-trimmed underthings. She even had her own tiny lady's handkerchief on her own cradle bed at the foot of Sarah's. Sarah lifted Emily up onto her lap and smiled at her, just as she would another little girl.
My papa's on the sea now, Emily. We must be very great friends to each other. Intimate friends. Tell each other things. Look at me, Emily. You have the nicest eyes I ever saw, but I wish you could speak.
She brushed Emily's hair fondly, settling her in pride of place.
There are so many girls in the school. I've never seen so many children in one place before. I'm afraid I shall not even remember all of their names. I've always known that someday I would be required to go away, to leave my home and my papa and come to England to be educated. I must do my duty, if I do not like it. I dare say soldiers, even brave ones, don't really like going to battle. They must do it anyway, and not cry and fuss. So must I. Oh, it is so lonely.
She could not know, of course, how her quiet sorrow might be misinterpreted by others. Miss Minchin, the proprietor, had seen the lavish preparations for Sarah's pretty little room and concluded that here was a child who had always been given her own way at the expense of others. Such a spoiled little girl might be expected to kick and scream and set the whole house into an uproar when abandoned by her only parent. That she did not suggested to Miss Minchin that Sarah cared nothing at all for her papa, but only for her dresses and toys. Such was not a thought that inspired sympathy in her heart for the newcomer. Just then there came the sound at the door of Sarah's room. Sarah was not a girl easily given to fear or startlement, but she had a healthy share of curiosity and went at once to see what it was. Outside sat a little girl right on her bottom in the middle of the hall, her baby plump legs splayed and the lace of her petticoats askew as if she had just toppled over, which, in fact, she had.
Hello there. Who might you be?
I'm Lottie. Her words were hard to make out through the fingers she had shoved into her mouth.
Lottie?
The fingers were withdrawn and wiped dry among the frills of her skirt. Lottie Lay. Sarah smiled. Here then was a chance to meet just one person at a time, instead of a crowd of strangers.
Well then, I am Sarah Crew, and now we are properly introduced.
She held out a hand and helped the little girl to her feet.
Was there something you wanted?
May I look at your doll?
Of course you may. Come and visit me in my room and we can have tea together. My papa left me a beautiful tea set with lilies painted on it. Emily has her own service as well, sized for her hand, because she is too small to hold one of my cups.
I want to see.
Come inside then, and I will introduce you to Emily.
And that was Sarah's first week of classes at Miss Minchin's Select Seminary for Young Ladies.
That was a great episode.
On the weekends, you can spend the resources you have collected in order to unlock scenes with different characters. The requirements for each event will be listed in the box next to that character. If an event requires 5 belief, you must have at least 5 belief on the left-hand side of the screen in order to select Play Event. Playing that event will lower your current belief by 5. Some scenes will not be available until later in the story. Others can only be played early in the game. Pay attention to the requirements. It is best to focus your attention on only 2 or 3 characters in order to have time to play all of their scenes.
Okay, so that explains. So we're spending our stats that we get on the left then. Okay.
Yes.
Well then, can't afford. Unfortunately, we don't have enough belief.
Lottie or Lavinia because we didn't know that we would need these.
But also, it says Lavinia's week 2, so we can only do Jesse's.
So, and the other 3 are not available, so the only one we can go through with is Jessie. But I guess we should plan out, with the information that we do have, do we want to try to spend next week to try to get Lottie's event, or try to get Lavinia's week 2 event?
Let's try to go for Lavinia, just because, that seems neat. I don't know. Also, Lottie just seems, very young.
But let's go for Jessie's event because we can. So we need 3 grace for next week.
Yes.
You want to make a note of that? Hello, Sarah. May I come in to visit? Alright. Sarah rose to her feet at once.
You are very welcome. Please, come inside.
Jessie stepped into the room, then held out her skirt to drop a delicate curtsy in greeting. I know we have been introduced, but I wish to make your acquaintance more personally. And without a Lavi listening in.
Lavinia? I thought that you and she were the best of friends.
Of course we are. I adore her. She's so classic. So elegant and focused. I admire her very much. However, sometimes it is nicer to do things for oneself. Are those real silk stockings you're wearing? Sarah blinked, caught unawares by this change of topic.
Yes, I have several pairs. My papa took me to many shops while he was in London.
They're darling. Mine are only Leslie cotton. May I see the pattern? Sarah sat down in her comfortable armchair, lifting the hem of her skirt slightly so that the floral embroidery over her ankle was visible. What little feet you have! I never saw such little feet.
Are they small?
She raised her leg a bit, pointing her toes and moving her foot this way and that.
They seem the same size as they have always been, even though I know they must have been smaller when I was younger. I'm sure that Lottie's feet are smaller than mine. Emily's, of course, are the smallest of all.
Emily?
Emily is the doll that my papa bought to be my companion.
Sarah stood up and lifted Emily into her arms for Jessie to admire.
Emily, this is Jessie Abbott, my new friend.
The older girl dropped a beautiful curtsy, then laughed. Oh, she has silk stockings too! Stockings with such teeny tiny feet. How cute! But you do have small feet for your height, Sarah. I'm sure you do. Look at mine. Jessie pressed her foot up alongside Sarah's for comparison. I just don't know whether larger or smaller feet are better. For dancing, I mean. If we dance with a partner, small feet would be better to avoid being stepped on, and they'll look very stylish in slippers. Slippers are cuter if they are smaller. But larger feet might be better for holding positions and standing on your toes. Small feet may not be as strong. Your feet have good shape, though. They arch well. They're very pretty.
Can feet be pretty? Colonel Grange's little daughter Isabel in India was the prettiest girl I ever knew. All the gentlemen said she was the beauty of the regiment. She has dimples and round, rose-colored cheeks, pale blue eyes, and long curling hair the color of gold, and everyone said those things were very pretty. No one ever spoke of her feet. I suppose if feet can be pretty, then perhaps I do have pretty feet. I know the rest of me is not.
Of course the rest of you isn't feet. You're in London.
Okay, that's going in senseless quotes. Just of course the rest of you isn't feet.
No, get it? Because you're in London. So they don't use feet in inches. They use... they use metric.
Also, given the time period, no, they actually would be using the imperial system at this time, most likely.
Of course the rest of you isn't feet. Ahem. Hold on, everybody, while Sarah decides to put this into census quotes.
Okay. My hair is too black and straight and short, I am too thin, and my eyes are a strange color.
You do not have the same kind of beauty that dolls are made of, but that doesn't mean that you aren't pretty. I think you are quite interesting to look at. So do not wish to contradict her new friend, who had no reason to lie, but her inner conviction that she was an ugly little girl cannot be so easily dispelled. Will you show me the rest of your dolls and clothes? Do all of your petticoats have so many lace frills? Do you think any of them would fit me?
I don't know. I suppose we can find out.
New week. On Sunday morning, the students gathered in the entrance hall of Miss Minchin's Select Seminary. Girls, are you ready? Form up into a line behind Lavinia. Sarah, dear, it is our custom to walk to and from the church every Sunday, when the weather permits. That allows the horses a day of rest and ensures the students receive regular exercise. It is important to look your best when you are walking out among the public. We want our school to always leave a good impression. You should follow Lavinia's cues. She will show you what to do. Lavinia is always a model student. As if hearing her name, Lavinia smiled and tilted her head. You could learn a great deal from Lavinia, dear. And as her father is also closer to India, the two of you should have much in common. I'm sure you will make close friends. Now, go and stand in line behind her. Sarah made her way to the front of the line, where Jessie and Lavinia stood close together. Oh, what are you doing? Go to the back. Miss Minchin told me to stand behind... Oh, sorry,
Claire?
it's you.
Miss Minchin told me to stand behind you. She said you were a model.
Oh, very well then. That's my place. You wouldn't want to disobey Miss Minchin, would you? No. We have to show a new girl how to behave herself in church. She may never have seen one before. Sarah thought it wisest to remain silent.
Okay. So, we need to get Grace. What is Grace again? Grace is wings.
So
Okay.
practice dance can give grace, and tea party can also gain grace.
And I believe, was it diary also could give Grace?
No.
No.
Go
Walk.
for a walk gives grace equal to that.
How much bigger do we have?
We only have 2. But it's, like, we would only gain equal to, I think it's, like, the amount that we've gained, not the total amount we have in storage, I think.
No, it seems to me that it would be, gain the amount equal to the total. Yeah. So it seems if we want to get Grace, we should probably practice dance twice throughout the week. So I'd say make the first 2 be practice dance.
Oh, see, I was thinking, we do tea party, because there's a chance of gaining vigor with that. We could also just gain grace. And then we practice dance twice for the potential to either gain a vigor like normal or to double our vigor that we might have gotten. And then we go for a walk, which could give us a lot of grace, but everything up to this point can also give us grace. We only need 3.
Okay. Let's do it.
Alright, cool. Yeah, see, it doesn't gain equal to the amount we have in storage. It gains equal to the amount of icons we've gotten. Because we gain the icons and it converts into words.
Oh.
And it counts the amount of icons.
Okay.
I mean, 5 grace is more than we needed, right?
Yes.
A knock came at the door. Sarah, dear.
Yes? Is there... Oh, hello.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Miss Minchin hissed through her teeth, and the young woman in the maid's uniform fell silent. Sarah, before he left, your father arranged for a maid to be employed especially for your needs. She's just arrived. I believe she is from France.
Yes.
Her name is Mariette, and she will be living in your rooms, helping you with your clothing in the morning and anything else you require. Please use her as your liaison with the staff. If you have need of food, send your maid rather than speaking to cook directly. And don't let her fool you. She does not speak the Queen's tongue.
She does speak this time.
Oh.
You added in the wrong.
I thought she was just being, racist against her.
No, she's saying she does, because all she's said is 2 words in French.
She swept out of the room, leaving the maid and her new little mistress blinking at each other in confusion.
Bonjour, Mariette. Je m'appelle Sarah. Comment allez-vous?
Okay, I know most of that, except the last part.
I'm not sure what the comment would mean in this. I know allez-vous. Is she basically saying? I don't know. I don't know.
Je ne sais quoi? Très bien, merci. And I'm pleased to see that. And I'm pleased. Very bien, merci. And I'm pleased to see that you're just as your papa described it. I cannot do a good French accent.
No, you're doing an Italian accent. Oh, what did he say?
That no other little girl is as solemn as you, and that you would make me smile.
But why would being solemn make someone smile?
Oh, it is your je ne sais quoi. It is you. Now, why don't you show me around your rooms?
Wink, wink.
So,
Ah,
we don't have the points for Jessie, but we do have the
Oh.
points for both Lavinia and Mariette. Mariette's next event doesn't require anything. So we can only do Lavinia, that's only this week, or Mariette.
well, rather, it couldn't be done last week. But,
Yes.
so I think we should, take Lavinia now and try to get another patience for Jessie for next week.
Okay. So far you're leaning towards Lavinia and Jessie. So far.
And we'll maybe we'll take in Mariette, but yeah.
Sarah knocked upon the door.
It is Sarah Crew. May I come in?
You may enter. Miss Minchin's model student was this day holding court in her rooms. It was a rather small court, consisting as it did of only one loyal follower, Jessie Abbott, but Lavinia's posture suggested no doubts about her right to rule.
Hello, Lavinia. May I?
I beg your pardon?
Your pardon?
Then beg. That is not begging. Jessie tittered behind your hand.
I'm sorry. I don't understand.
No, it is evident that there are a great many things that you do not understand. That is only to be expected, seeing that you have been raised in the savage outlands, where over here in England we observe manners. Sarah was perplexed. It was not her desire to be unmannerly, but she could not immediately perceive what breach she had committed. You are too forward, Miss Crew. I have not invited you to use my Christian name.
We have already been introduced.
Knowing one's name is not sufficient reason to use it. A friend would call me Lavinia. You and I are not yet such friends. Oh, Lavi, she is very young. Children use names freely. It was clear to Sarah that Jessie intended to demonstrate her own superior rank of friendship. Not merely Lavinia, but a pet name.
How funny that it should be called a pet name when it is Jessie who acts more or less the pet, Lavinia.
This is a school for young ladies. Even if she is young enough to be excused, she ought to practice. She will need all the polish that she can get. After all, Miss Minchin has set me to be her model. It is my responsibility to correct her mistakes.
It is a silly game, manners, but I do enjoy games.
She curtsied then, if only slightly.
I pray you will forgive me, Miss Herbert. I was too familiar.
Lavinia waved a hand. You are forgiven, of course. Now, what did you wish to speak with me about?
Miss Minchin said that your father was stationed in India. I was curious where you had lived, whether we might have seen the same...
And now, Lavinia held up her hand again. I have no interest in discussing anything whatsoever to do with India. It is not a proper topic for polite conversation. Sarah frowned. From the odd look on Jessie's face, she too seemed to find this answer disappointing. Please understand, Miss Crew, we are here in London under the shield of Her Majesty the Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, Defender of the Faith, Empress of India. Everything that matters in the world takes place within these miles. Trade within the city, government and parliament, and society within the palace. India is a distant hinterland, filthy and rife with the disease. It is a jungle out there.
Yes, there are jungles, but they're not any more filthy than London is. Nothing could be more filthy than London.
A proper lady expresses interest in India only to imagine the thrill of being made to briefly visit such a wild and terrible terrain. You should be very glad that you have escaped it. Thrills are exciting. Hush. Lavinia rubbed one hand over the other as if brushing away dirt. I hope I have made myself clear. We will not be discussing India here. Okay, Doctor. However, I will be very pleased to aid you in learning the ways of the English. Miss Crew, I am certain that is what Miss Minchin had in mind when she directed you to me.
That is very kind of you.
Not at all. It is my duty, and every good English man or woman is keen to do his or her duty.
Like my papa, the soldier.
Yes, if you must.
I still don't understand why she refuses to speak about India. Wasn't she born there? She must know how lovely it can be. And her skin tone makes it obvious she isn't from England.
It was the beginning of another week of classes, and the students were seated neatly in rows in the schoolroom. Miss Minchin walked up and down between the desks, ensuring that each pupil's head was bowed to her particular lessons. She paused beside Sarah, a book in her hand. Now, Sarah, as your papa has engaged a French maid for you, I conclude that he wishes you to make a special study of the French language.
I think he engaged her because he thought I would like her.
I'm afraid that you may have been something of a spoiled little girl, and as such, you always imagine that things are done because you like them. It is a fault in you, and one that you must endeavor to train away. My impression, Sarah, is that your papa wished for you to learn French.
I have never really learned to speak French, but...
That is quite enough. You have never learned, and so you must begin at once. The French master, Monsieur Defarge, will be here in a few minutes. Take this book and look at it until he arrives. Dutifully, Sarah still stared at the illustrated pages in front of her.
Le père, the father, la mère, the mother.
You look rather cross, Sarah. I'm sorry you do not like the idea of learning French.
I'm very fond of it, but...
You must not say but when you are told to do things. Miss Abbott, young ladies should not make dreadful snickering noises like a horse. Yes, Miss Minchin. Sarah, look at your book again.
Yes, Miss Minchin. My fils, the son, the frère, the brother. Oh dear.
Shortly after Monsieur Defarge arrived in the classroom, the French master was an elderly gentleman with a neatly trimmed mustache and beard, and hair that flew outwards in dramatic points. His eyes lit up when he caught sight of an unfamiliar little girl puzzling over a book of French phrases.
Is this a new pupil for me, madame?
Her papa, Captain Carew, is very anxious that she should begin the language, but I am afraid she has a childish prejudice against it. She does not seem to wish to learn.
I'm very sorry to hear that, mademoiselle. Perhaps when we begin to study together, I may show you that it is a charming.
Little Sarah rose in her seat. She was beginning to feel rather desperate.
S'il vous plaît, monsieur, je ne peux pas le faire comprendre.
She began to understand quite simply in pretty and fluent French. Madame had not understood. She had not learned French exactly, not out of books, but her papa and other people had always spoken it to her, and she had read it and written it as she had read and written English. Her papa loved it, and she loved it because he did. Her dear mama, who had died when she was born, had been French. What? What on earth? What is she saying? Is this some form of joke?
Madame, there is not much I can teach her. She has not learned French. She is French. Her accent is exquisite.
You ought to have told me.
I tried. I suppose I did not begin right.
Miss Minchin slammed her hand upon her desk. Silence, young ladies! Silence at once! And though the other students soon settled back into proper school and behavior, Miss Minchin's lips remained tightly pressed together whenever she looked at Sarah. Alright.
Alright. What was the thing that we needed?
You're supposed to keep
Wait a
notes
minute.
on that.
Hang on. Okay, stop covering up the numbers we have, please. Okay, we need 1 patience if we're going for her.
Jesse.
Yeah. So what can give us patience? Which is the clock.
Time. So write in diary. Going for a walk. And practicing dance.
Okay.
You don't need the artistry.
Yeah, is there anything that can get us patience that doesn't have a risk of getting artistry?
It doesn't look like it, no. Write in diary also gives knowledge and belief. If it gives artistry, so that's
Alright,
2
let's write in the diary. Let's write in the diary on Monday and on Friday. Okay, what else can give us?
Patience, go for a walk can as well.
Right?
That could be an issue if it winds up being one of the first 2. Or practicing dance.
Okay, we'll practice dance on Tuesday. Actually, you know what? No, practice dance on Thursday, because that could... we'll have that be the last one for getting vigor. What else can get us vigor?
Tea party. Going for a walk. Playing with toys.
Playing with toys seems like...
Practicing dance.
Okay, let's write in diary, practice dance, and then something different on Wednesday. We'll leave Thursday and Friday alone. So...
Do we want to go for a walk?
Sure, let's go for a walk.
I mean, what we should do is write in a... We should save go for a walk for last. Because if we get good vigor, then we could potentially increase sympathy.
What? Go for a walk?
Going for a walk can give... Is that not sympathy?
That's grace.
Yeah, grace. Yeah, we could increase our grace a bit more if Thursday gives us extra vigor.
Okay. Alright.
So, good odds to get at least some patience.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Also unfortunate. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't think your plan worked out.
If the French language fell naturally from Sarah's lips, there were other lips from which it seemed it could not escape at all, no matter how long the owner stared at her workbook. Le père, the father, la mère, the mother. To Ermengarde it had seemed almost unbelievable that a girl of her own age could string together so many words of French as if they were mere trifles. Despite her own failings, she was devoting more effort than usual to the trial of understanding her lessons. Her elbows rested on the desk, her hands beneath her chin, as she repeated the broken syllables under her breath. She stared so hard and bit the ribbon on her pigtail so fast that she attracted the attention of Miss Minchin, who, feeling extremely cross at the moment, immediately pounced upon her. Miss St. John, what is the meaning of such conduct? What? Remove your elbows, take your ribbon out of your mouth, sit up at once. Yes, Miss Minchin. Matters improved for Miss St. John when the French master himself arrived. Good bread, le bon pain? Kindly though he was, Monsieur Defarge cannot help but smile at her pronunciation.
That is not quite correct. Écoutez bien, le bon pain.
Le bon bang? Girls, conduct yourselves.
It isn't funny, really. They ought not to laugh. Poor thing.
It was a way of hers always to want to spring into any fray in which someone was made uncomfortable or unhappy. However, there was no way for any hero to defend or rescue Ermengarde from the horrors of education. At least, not until the lesson period had concluded. So we can't play Lavinia.
Yeah.
You should keep notes of the things we need.
I mean, we know what we need. It's patience.
So do we want to spend time with Mariette or with Ermengarde?
I think Mariette, we don't want to lose our sympathy because that would prevent us from being able to speak to Jessie. Because, yeah, I'm thinking Lavinia, I am not liking.
Yeah, Lavinia's kind of rude, but maybe if you get to know her more, then she'll soften up a bit. But yeah, she is kind of rude.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking Mariette. Mariette, is it alright if I ask you a few questions about yourself?
Sir, mademoiselle, what do you wish to know?
What is your family name? Miss Minchin did not say.
Dumas, mademoiselle.
Oh, are you a relative of the great French writer the author of The Three Musketeers?
Mariette chuckled kindly. No, mademoiselle, well, not in a close way. I am not. There are many with the name Dumas, and I cannot know what connections there are between all people. Do you know all your cousins and your cousins' cousins and all who bear the name of Crew?
I don't know anyone else named Crew except for myself and my papa.
So you see, I cannot say who my relatives might be at some distance. Sarah nodded.
Where in France do you come from?
I grew up in Limoges. You may have heard of the Limoges box, the porcelain? Sarah shook her head. Ah, well, they were famous once. Perhaps they will be again. For now, like much of Limoges, they have faded.
What is it like there?
Ah, what is it like anywhere? It is a city not so large as Paris or London, no.
Is it near Paris?
None. Passes. Passport. It is in the south. You must rely on the railways to travel between them. All trains lead to Paris. Sarah tried to picture it. She did not know Limoges, but if it was in the south, then it must be warm and green, surely. She had seen paintings of French stone houses, churches, and bridges. Rolling green hills, hanging vines, and sunlight. Always sunlight, not the fogs of London.
Not the frogs of London? It must be lovely.
As you say, mademoiselle.
How did you come to take this position? What I mean to say is, my papa and I did not have time to visit France, and I did not meet you until you came here. Did you meet my papa somewhere else?
None. We have never met in flesh and blood. Your papa, he is a gentleman and knows many other gentlemen in fine cities, like Paris. When it happened that he wished to appoint a maid, he wrote to this Paris gentleman to describe you. And I have a cousin who works for this Paris gentleman, and he thought of me, and so the arrangements were made. And I am glad that they were. Sarah smiled. The gentle warmth of Mariette's regard was very comforting for a little girl, one who had been separated from her family and made to live in a far-off place. It was true that Mariette was, for the most part, only another stranger. Like any other Miss Minchin's seminary, they were only just beginning to know each other. And yet, Mariette was not simply a stranger who might come and go. Like the students, she was Sarah's maid at the beginnings of her very own household. She might, in time, be the closest thing to family.
I wonder about the friend my papa has in Paris. I wonder if he ever knew my mother. Do you see that darling little blue and yellow bird on the way back from church?
It was only a little bluebird. They're hopelessly common.
Okay, Claire, you can say the name of a bird. I haven't seen one before.
I don't think I can say it in her accent. They're country birds. They like trees. You don't see them so much in London.
There must be many more birds in the country. Are there any birds in England that are blue all over?
I don't think so. Are there bluebirds in India?
Well, there's some birds with bright blue feathers, but not all over. And some birds that are blue all over, but only a bit blue. I thought that perhaps in England I might find the bluebird of happiness.
What is
It's not
that?
Twitter.
Hmm.
I shall tell you, all of you. Come up to my room and we shall have tea delivered.
You shouldn't give orders to cook. It's not proper for a young lady to go into the kitchens.
Oh, I won't go. My maid, Mariette, will fetch the tea for us.
You have your own personal maid to bring you tea?
Yes, my father arranged for her to come from France. Come and say hello.
Sarah and her entourage were greeted at the door. Oh my, so many visitors.
If it's all right, would you please bring tea for my guests, Mariette?
Oui, mademoiselle. Mariette went at once to the kitchen to carry out her little mistress's orders. The head cook of Miss Minchin's select seminary looked up at Mariette's approach, her face as pinched as her dough. Here, now, what's this then? Afternoon tea for 4. Oh, is that all? I suppose she'll be wanting fresh cakes too, never mind that we haven't any made. Ah, none. There are biscuits already. Never seen that stop one of those girls from wanting more. Quick as you please. It is perhaps so with some, but not with my mistress. La laird, the young princess, cette petite. She thanks me for my work just as if she were thanking a grand lady. Giving herself airs, you mean? As you wish it. Still, I'm very pleased with my place. Now, the tea?
Alright, so we still need to get patience. Let's review things here. Okay, so patience we can get from writing a diary and practicing dance, yes? Okay, let's try write in diary, practice dance practice. Okay, what does go for a walk give again?
It can give 1 patience.
What does play with toys do?
No patience.
Yeah, write in diary, practice dance, and
I'm almost tempted to just say 5 write-in diaries. Just...
God. No, but we can't make the last one another write in diary.
Okay. All good?
Yeah, write in diary, worst case scenario, it just gives us extra artistry that we don't. But it gives us other things more likely.
Yeah, belief and
So-
knowledge if it gives artistry, or just belief and sympathy, which is
Or
good
the
anyway.
patience.
Yeah. Alright, you ready?
Yep.
Come on, hurry up and be patient.
Yay! Yay!
Boo.
Great. Yeah, that's okay.
At least
Okay,
we
put
got
a
some
knowledge.
patience.
Yes.
Alright, this way, dear Sarah. Lady Pitkin would be absolutely charmed to meet you.
Yes, Miss Minchin.
Where's she taken, Sarah? Miss Minchin is showing off to another visiting parent. Maybe a donor. I'm sure I wouldn't know. Dear Sarah must come into the drawing room and talk to Mrs. Musgrave about India. Dear Sarah must speak French to Lady Pitkin. Her accent is so perfect. She didn't learn her French at this seminary, that's for certain. And there's nothing so clever in her knowing it. She says herself she didn't learn it at all. She just picked it up because she always heard her papa speak it. It's simply disgusting the way Miss Minchin trots her out like an ornament. I can't imagine being so good at anything that Miss Minchin would want to show me off, especially French. Sarah is always imagining. She will no doubt grow up to be eccentric. There is one good thing about her, though. She's never grand about herself in the least bit, even though she easily might be. I believe I couldn't help being proud, just a little, if I had so many fine things as was made such a fuss over. A little, if Miss Minchin brought you in to curtsy for Mayor's wife, you would purr, just like Tybalt. Oh, Larry, don't be silly. Being a cat might be even nicer than being able to speak French.
Yes.
Every bit as likely for you.
Ouch!
There's no use in waiting here for Sarah. She'll be at tea for hours, I'm sure. We may as well go on our way.